Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith.
I like to capture my thoughts with the words divine terrorists. When we hear the word terrorist, oh boy. That is something that is very frightening. That is something that doesn't really sit well with a lot of us. But you know that sometimes God can be a divine terrorist? Yeah. Now look at what people say. The Bible said because of the blessings of Jacob, one of the blessings of Jacob was there was a fear. The great fear fell on everybody because of Jacob. Everybody knew that Jacob was with God. God was with Jacob. Everybody was afraid of Jacob because of the God factor in Jacob's life. So you know what? God put a fear of Jacob on all the nations around him. Everybody was afraid of him. So Jacob was a walking terrorist. Now I'm using the word terrorist in a very, very different way. Not somebody who's going to take a knife and cut your throat or put a bomb in his fugu or bubu and then come blast you. No. But sometimes there's a dread. Sometimes there's a glory of God that rests upon you that when people meet with you, they know they can't mess with you. That you carry God in such a way that when people meet you and they want to misbehave, they say, we can't do this because this guy owns God. This guy carries a glory. This guy carries a weight of glory we can't mess with. And you know sometimes what God does? God does this by terrorizing people. When I say terrorizing people, God does it by doing exploits on your behalf. God does it by delivering you from every shackle and delivering you from the snares of death, delivering you from different angles and delivering you from different situations. And then God gives you a testimony. And that testimony of you now becomes a dread for other people. You can't mess with this person. You know, I just want to say this with a lot of humility. I remember many years ago when I was in sixth form, and the young people decided to give all the prefects a pounding. And so they were catching one prefect after the other and throwing them in water and pouring buckets of water over them because we didn't have taking them under the tap and then opening the tap on them. And I remember I'd gone home to have a meal. And then I came to the school, I was whistling, very excited. And then when I climbed the staircase, I was just about to enter my cubicle. And then all these guys gathered around me. And then they were saying, okay, now it's your time. And they started singing the favorite song when people are about to be pounded. All we are saying, don't waste our time. You know, and they were singing it. And I just kept still. And I looked at them one by one. There were quite a multitude of people. And I looked at them. And I just put my head down. And I walked through them straight into my cubicle. Nobody came after me. Nobody did anything. Not knowing, earlier on, when they had planned to pound everybody, I mean, my name was included in the list. But one Christian brother, Ramius Musasa, a Zimbabwean, wherever you are, Ramius, how are you? Ramius Musasa told them that, listen, you can touch everybody, but not this guy. And so they had placed a bet that they're going to touch me. And they were telling everybody we're going to touch him. So everybody in the block was waiting to see what was going to happen. They made an attempt, but they never did touch me. Why? Because they were afraid. When I asked the leader, he said, the way I just looked at them quietly and I put my head down, they realized that they can't mess with me. You know one thing? Sometimes God puts the weight of glory around you that you become a walking divine terrorist. That is, they can't mess with you. It's not time for you to get a relationship, a solid relationship with God that people will say, don't mess with him. Don't allow the enemy to mess with you. Don't swallow their foolishness. Don't swallow the enemies or all the arrows that they don't rise up against it. Rise up in prayer. Rise up, and then you begin to shine, and the glory of God would explode around you. That people will be afraid to mess around with you. Or then people will say, there goes a divine terrorist. Well, the choices are always yours. See you later.
Please visit our website, graphic.com.gh, or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH.
Subscribe now.